trying will get you nowhere. What's up guys, Coach Carissa here. Welcome to our channel. This channel is all about helping real women lose real weight by uncovering the fact that your breakthrough really only lies at the intersection of the actions you take and the beliefs that you hold, which is just our fancy way of saying that you can't only concern yourself with the physical actions you're trying to take, like how you're eating, how you're moving, things like that, but you also need to get a grip on what's going on with you internally so you can stop self-sabotaging, stop falling back to your old habits, and stop having to start over and over and over again. So enjoy this week's lesson and subscribe for more. We're gonna learn how to ditch trying and become doers. So here's how. I'm gonna ask a very simple question, and I promise it's not a trick question. So here's the question. Do you think you need to take physical actions in order to reach your health goals? For example, if you need to change your nutrition, do you believe you physically need to consume different foods or different amounts in order to lose weight? Or do you think you can just think about it? Right? If you need to exercise more, do you think you can lose weight or get stronger or build muscle without stepping foot in the gym or doing a single workout? Right? Of course, we can all agree that you need to take physical actions in order to change. Again, that's not a trick question. If you want to transform your body, there's absolutely physical actions that must take place for that change to happen. So if we all agree that actions are required, the next logical question is, are you someone who struggles to take action? If you struggle to take consistent, reliable action, for whatever reason, the solution for you is to become an action taker. So how do you become someone who takes action rather than someone who struggles or fails to take action? That's what we're unpacking tonight. We often discuss the mental battles that stand between us taking actions consistently, but tonight I want to discuss actually becoming an action taker, because it's different than becoming consistent or becoming motivated or driven. Becoming an action taker starts with our language. For example, pay attention to my language for a second as I give you some random examples. If one of you invited me out to coffee tomorrow at 8 and I said I'll try and make it, do you have a lot of confidence that I'll show up?
No.
You'd probably check and be like, are you coming? If I tell you,
never mind.
Right? If I tell you I'm gonna
mess with me and my coffee, okay?
Right? Oh, yeah. Sore spot there. Like tea. She's like, I'm not coming. If I tell you I'm gonna try and eat more protein, how confident are you that I'm going to do it? Or that I'm going to try and eat more meals per the day, right? Or I'm going to try and work out more. The word try doesn't come with a whole lot of certainty, does it? So why do we use it? That's a great question. If we define try, it really makes no sense to me why we even use this word. As a noun, it's defined as an act of attempting to achieve something that's often unsuccessful. The actual definition. As a verb, it's defined as to make an effort towards something typically difficult to achieve. Some synonyms include attempt, strive, and struggle. And this blew my mind when I looked these all up. Attempt means to make an effort. Strive means to make a great effort. And struggle means to make a forceful or violent effort. So by its very definition, when you say you're going to try to do something, it's already presenting feelings of doubt, a lack of certainty, and an admission that what you're going to attempt is probably going to be difficult, require a lot of effort, and ultimately be unsuccessful. So why does this matter? Well, if you don't have desirable positive expectations, then you have negative, undesirable expectations. And our brain is incapable of taking action and giving something a full attempt when our expectations are negative or undesirable. Taking action on something is next to impossible if you expect it to fail, because your brain and your body is not going to provide you the energy or the creativity towards something that's not going to be successful and improve your life. That's why expecting to succeed is so important. And here's the gold right here. When you're a trier, you're expecting to fail. So you cannot take action. You're only going to take the actions that cause you to fail and fulfill that belief. Doers expect to succeed, so they find themselves in action, taking those actions to result in success because that's what they believe. Action takers expect things to succeed, so they do. People who struggle to take actions expect things to fail, so they do. And when we ask our brain to devote a lot of energy and a lot of time and a lot of creativity and problem solving towards something we believe isn't going to even work out, our brain sees that as a waste of time. And the result is us, you and I, struggling with motivation and consistency and problem solving. And as self-fulfilling prophecy goes, your efforts prove unfruitful. And rather than ditching that cycle, we tend to reinforce the use of the word try by telling ourselves, well, good thing we didn't fully commit because it didn't work out anyways. So you try again later. And if you stay in that loop, you'll stay in that loop and nothing's going to change. And the ultimate result is inaction as a default way of being. So to try is only that. To try, to make an attempt, to strive, to struggle. To try again is to do the same thing again. And round we go, remaining unsuccessful. So I'm here tonight to tell you something very important. You cannot try your way to success. There's only doing or not doing. You must ditch trying and become a doer. And the easiest way I found is through language. So tonight I'd like to propose that by the very use of the word try, you're essentially guaranteeing you're not going to succeed at whatever it is you're trying to achieve. So I propose instead, if you simply remove try from your vocabulary and practice letting your yes be yes and your no be no, that you become someone who takes action and moves the needle. Because if you decide to practice committing to something or not committing to something, you're actively building self-trust, you're strengthening your word to yourself, and you're becoming someone who does what they say they're going to do. And those are the qualities of an action taker. Using the word try doesn't train your brain to be an action taker. It trains you to be the opposite. So by the end of this lesson, I want every single one of you guys to feel compelled to remove the word trying from your vocabulary. I did it a few years ago, and it was remarkable how much it really changed my ability to reach my goals much, much quicker and easier than before. And I found myself very, very rarely feeling stuck and very rarely feeling confused about what I need to do next. So when you catch yourself this week using the word try, simply remind yourself what you're really saying. To try is to say you believe this attempt is going to be difficult and unsuccessful and that the journey is going to be a struggle. If you don't want that to be the case, then replace try with I will statements. For example, if tonight you want to go to bed on time and you say, I'm going to try and go to bed on time, what you really said is, you'd like to go to bed on time, but you don't really think you will. And because you said that, because you believe that, you're pretty much guaranteeing you're not going to go to bed on time. So in that moment, catch yourself and practice being certain. Expect to go to bed on time and you will. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Either say you're going to go to bed late because you decided to, or say you'll go to bed at whatever your bedtime is because you decided to. And then practice following through. That gives you the opportunity to practice following through. And if you don't follow through, that gives you the opportunity to practice honoring your word and dealing with the consequences rather than burying your head. And then you can go about making smaller promises to yourself in the near future so you can slowly build up your self-trust. If you remove the word try from your vocabulary, you're only going to be left with doing or not doing. I will or I will not statements. And it's far better for you and your self-trust and the results you get to say you're going to do something and then follow through, or to say you're not going to do something and follow through. Because it forces you to be more careful with the promises you make to yourself and the commitments you make to yourself. And then slowly but surely your word, which is all we really have, is going to carry more weight for yourself and others. And once your word carries more weight, you can build and foster more trust with yourself, which will increase your self-confidence. That's all self-confidence is. To confide is to trust. Self-confidence is trust in oneself, which is practiced. And that's going to allow you to make bigger promises to yourself over time, which is going to give you more reps at practicing the skill of following through, which is going to slowly change your mind and your expectations to that of success. So you're going to take more and more action. And the natural byproduct of that over time is becoming an action taker. And if you're an action taker consistently, you're going to transform your health and your body. So to wrap this up, for the rest of the week, when you catch yourself saying try, replace it with either just doing or not doing, which is usually through I will or I will not statements. So a couple examples. If you're trying to drink more water, you're no longer trying to drink more water. Instead, say, tomorrow I will drink 1 glass of water in the morning, or 1 extra glass of water than I normally would. And then practice following through with that commitment. And only promise things to yourself that you are confident you can follow through with. Don't make crazy, huge promises that you know you're not going to do. Make them small. Another example, if you're trying to be more active, stop saying, I'm going to try and be more active. Say, tomorrow I will take a 15-minute walk after my lunch. And then practice following through. Maybe it's even committing to take things off of your plate. I know that's going to resonate with some of you guys right now. Maybe instead of trying to improve your stress and your sleep and your nutrition and your exercise all at the same time, you can choose one and address the others later. Maybe it's sleep. Maybe this week, rather than saying you're going to try and do all those things, say I'm going to try and get more hours of sleep. Tonight, I will be in bed 15 minutes earlier than my normal bedtime, 9:45, whatever time that is, and practice following through. You can practice this externally too. Get as many reps as you can. If your boss asks you to stay late on Friday and you can't, don't say you'll try, say you can't. Politely, I cannot. If your friend invites you to breakfast on Saturday morning and you can and you want to, say you will be there. Do you guys see the power here? We know words are the building blocks of all things. So does it not stand to reason that by changing your words, you can change your beliefs? And by changing your beliefs, you can change your actions. You can go from someone who tries to someone who does, just by changing what you say. If you do this by your very words and by your very beliefs, you get to watch your perspective transform, and the natural byproduct is increased action and consistency. And that's where you can really make a difference in your life. By changing what you say, you can change how you think. By changing how you think, you can change what you do. By changing what you do with enough time, you can change who you are, and you'll become transformed. Thank you so much for watching. We truly hope you enjoyed that lesson. So every single week we make room for 1 guest spot on these support calls. So if you'd like the opportunity to attend, ask questions, receive coaching, just hit the link in the description box, or you can head over to gainslinger.com/coach-me. Once again, that's Gainslinger, GAINSLINGER.com/coach-me, all one word. Have a blessed day, and we'll see you next week.